I was watching this video with the Saint Center and the feminists. Um, it was pretty interesting when they was having a debate. But the only issue that I had with the Saint Center was I was just picking up his narcissistic traits where you know he was having a conversation with baby girl and he constantly he was listening to her, but it was just like he wasn't taking anything what she was saying. What I mean by that is he he wasn't listening. He wasn't, uh, taking the information in and trying to get an understanding where she was coming from. He was too busy, he was hearing her words, he was hearing her talk, but he was not taking the information of an understanding. He was too busy, you know, hearing her what she was saying, but he was just too busy uh, trying to get out what he's trying to say. And people like that, it's hard to have conversations with people like that because that's a narcissistic trait. It's like you're blocking out everything what a person's saying. Like you hear what they saying, but you're not feeling what they saying. You too busy trying to, you know, get what you got to say out. Whatever that person say don't matter. It only matter what you say is how you think and how you feel and how you live your life. Just like you made an example when I picked up another narcissistic traits where you were saying that you stayed in an environment. Your mama was on drugs. You stayed in the hood or whatever, and then another kid, you know, that stayed in the same neighborhood, and you got out, you got successful, but he stayed in and got incarcerated because she was making points far as it's about how you raise and your conditions and where you at. I totally agree with what she was saying about it is about your conditions and where you at in your environment. And he was basically saying, no, it's not about your conditions or your environment because we can't change what's going around. He basically saying you're responsible for your own actions. And I disagree with that because the reason why I disagree with that because some things you can't control. Like for prime example, some kids is just born into a single mother household and they have no control of that, and their dad is not, in their life, and 9 times out of 10, that child has to raise themselves because that single mother is not fit to be a father, so there's no balance in life. And far as your conditions in your neighborhood where you from, it does has a lot to do with it because it gives you the influence as a kid. And when you're a kid in this world, you're just trying to figure it out. You don't have nobody to guide you and tell you from right from wrong. And you're not going to get that in a single mother household. And that's for females too. That's why females go out at a young age, starting off at 12 years old having sex because there's no parental advisory. There's no father in the household. And 9 times out of 10, if she's getting raised by a single mother, she's out, in the streets hoeing around with no parental advisory to raise her children. So these kids have to raise themselves and figure it out. And this where the bad decisions come. As far as women being young single mothers at a young age and, young black men become thugs at a young age. So yes, baby girl is right. It has a lot to do how you came up in your environment. And by him saying, oh, I was raised in the hood and the other guy was raised in the hood and I made it out and I made good decisions, but he didn't. You got to understand something, bro. It's about genetics. It's about genetics, and you may have a smart dad that had a good mind frame, and he passed that genetics to you. That person that that's been incarcerated, His mother probably slept with a thug or somebody slow that that was in LD class and just passed that that LD that retardedness to that child, made that child retarded. Genetics has a lot to do with everything. That's why kids, that's why women should be very very cautious who they open their legs to. Like, you can't just sleep with any guys out here. You know, genetics is very important. A person's background is very important. That's why it's best, if you dating out here, to get to know that person's parents and see the mindsets of the, and intelligence of that person's parents before you go out and date them. Because when you have that child, that genetics, passes down to that child. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much when I got, from that video. It was a very interesting video. But the center, he, the Saint the center, whatever, I just pick up he's a male narcissist. That's what I picked up from watching the video of him. A lot of stuff he's saying, he make good points and stuff, but he has a lot of narcissistic traits. He need to, let people talk and have an understanding where they're coming from before you keep trying to, block them out. And, I just want to worry about what I got to say and how I feel and how I live my life. That, you're living in a narcissistic world, bro. You just only based in your world. All men are not the same. Everybody is, is raised different. Everybody parents are different. Everybody genetics is different. And what I mean by that is, people can be born with a natural talent, like LeBron James. He was genetically born with a natural talent. Jordan, born with a natural talent, a God-given talent. Some people are just born with genetics. That's the point I'm trying to make it. I'm making, And that's what I picked up from it, man. I think he's just a stone cold narcissist, man. Like, he's smart, but the way he was handling baby girl and not, and not listening and understanding what she was saying, because she was making good ass points, but he was too busy trying to, bring all the attention on him and what he got to say, because, she's on his channel. So, of course, all the subscribers is going to be on his side. You got to give people a chance, bro. Like, that's why I say people really need to study narcissism, man. Narcissism is very important, man, because people just be in their own world and they don't care about other people's feelings, and they don't they don't put their shoe in the other foot, man. We have to learn that as a society, like, you know what I'm saying? We need to learn that shit, man.